The air is filled with President Tinubu's trips, quite frankly, in the first instance to India. And the most recent is the UAE visit, where a lot of things happened in India. We got a lot of pledges, and even in the UAE as well. Pledges. Let's talk about that one first. The UAE thing again. Pledges, right? Because we hear that it's like immediately.
We should also know that President Tinubu had a meeting with the president of the United Arab Emirates. It's different from the Crown King or whatever they call him of Dubai, Mohammed bin Ali. So there's a different scenario. He is the president, but the way they the way they play their policy is very different from ours. Yeah, you have the king that is in Abu Dhabi, where President Tinubu went to, and we have, would I call him a prince, or that is his uncle, that is like the crown prince controlling Dubai itself. So we have resolved within ourselves that flight will resume immediately. Maybe we'll carry some weight. Remember, it's not just Emirates. We are talking about Etihad Airline also.
Yes.
So that's why I say there are two. You can see two in the same country. You have two international airlines. One is operating from Abu Dhabi, while the other one is operating from Dubai. So then, like somebody said, did President Tinubu pledge them I was going to repatriate that $85 million?
Well, that is what's at the bottom of the disagreement, shall I put?
Yes, so if you say you are coming back immediately, that means those
fronts have been freed.
Those areas have been addressed. Maybe not freed, maybe addressed. Like
okay.
Maybe once you start operation, we'll make sure that we repatriate some certain amount to you. Remember that it was more than that amount before now. So some amount were given out to all of them. But Emirates felt that they were subcharged based on the agreement they had with the Nigerian government. Remember, they've come in twice before they suspended, come in twice before. So definitely, I think most Nigerians are excited because of the business nature of Dubai to Nigerian businesses and tourism.
Even the chief executive of our own airpiece has said that it's a very encouraging sign, if indeed.
Well, it's an encouraging sign because we are now talking about Emirates. Remember again, another issue where Nigeria had with Emirates was you must allot the same number of slots that you are allotted to Emirates Emirates in flying to Dubai, and you must allow the same number of slots to airpiece. And you must begin to allow airpiece land in Dubai International Airport rather than landing in Sharjah. So the president just go in and just only address the Emirates side and not address our own side, because we also had a grievance. That's why the Nigerian aviation authority say, no, if you don't allow us operate the same number of flights that you operate, then we'll suspend you from coming in here. So I think for the Minister of Aviation also to come out and say, oh, the president has made his work simple.
Yeah.
For me, I think that was too fast. You needed to look at what were the agreements reached. Then you sit down with your team. What really caused this issue? Have you been able to address it?
But as you know, it was put in the context of, well, this has been a logjam, but it took a Tinubu visit to sort of, where one gets the impression of untangle those things that need to be untangled. But as you just explained, it's not a straightforward, simple as that, because there are a number of components to be involved. But at least that the president has visited there, the subject matter has been broached, they've spoken about it officially. I guess all of that can only be positive as other details, more details unfold.
For me, it's positive. The fact that they could even make a pronouncement.
Yes.
It's positive. But like I always say, pronouncement comes, implementation is one thing of those pronouncements. Like the late former minister from one Nigerian famous politician, the late former minister, we said, money approved is not money release. That is the late Tony Anene.
Yeah.
So we could say that pronouncement, we've seen a lot of pronouncement from President Bola Tinubu, which I said has helped. But at a point, pronouncement takes you to a level. But we need to begin to see actions. So all we've been seeing thus far is pledge, pronouncement, pledge, pronouncements. We have not seen that. Just yesterday, when we were jubilating about the news of President Tinubu visit to Dubai, and Financial Times Stock Exchange in London, a subsidiary of the London Stock Exchange, downgraded Nigeria from a frontal market to an unclassified market to a zero market because of the challenge of a two-way exchange system that investors have not been able to repatriate their money back to their country. So the challenge we have with the floating of the currency, the challenge we have with international investors, including Emirates, is because there's no two-way exchange system. They want to come in and invest, they want to exit in. And we must give it to the president. The president was part of the presidential speech he made that day, that investors will begin to come, and when you need to go, you create the environment for you to be able to go with your funds. But as it stands now, there's a logjam because we don't even have the liquidity for these investors to go, to come in and repatriate their funds. Foreign investors' funds are still here, especially those from the equity market and, the aviation sector now. What we see now, you get a flight from Nigeria, you are paying twice the amount you pay if you get a flight from Ghana. Because why? They have decided to pay times two because they said, look, you will not be able to repatriate our money. So they sometimes calculate it with the dollar rate and not even the I&E window. Some of them go as far as 900.
Exactly. And this point that you mentioned, I was listening to something by Group Captain Ojukutu, who is of the Nigerian Aviation Roundtable, who had spoken about this particular point, that, well, he hopes that, is this whole thing in dollars or what? Because it would not be fair to Nigeria if somehow ours is calculated in Naira and then only the other side is calculated in dollars.